Welcome. We're live. We're live again for Sunday morning start sit. I love it. Week 2. We are here to help. We'll be live. We'll get the inactive report during the show. So that caused a little bit of an in-show meltdown last week. Let's see if that happens again this week. That was definitely the most exciting part of last week's show. But we're here. So I have a great guest. So before the questions roll in, tell the people about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Matt. I write over at League Winners. I'm a Dynasty lead writer there. I'm a co-host of the Fantasy Newsroom, and I'm excited to be here with Tyler. We've gone way back now, almost a year now, so it's exciting to be here to answer your guys' questions, and let's win this week, and let's make some good decisions. That's all that matters, right? Make some good decisions. So.
I love that. We definitely should make good decisions, not bad decisions. I mean, I make a lot of bad decisions, but
I had a few last week that were probably skeptical. So.
Oh my god. Well, the people, they may or may not want to hear about that. But let's see if we have anyone in the chat putting out the show on Twitter to get some people in here. But so far, very quiet. If you want me to answer your questions, you have to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I can't answer them. But luckily, I came prepared. Yeah, I was prepared for this with a lot of advanced questions that we can answer. So
it's gonna be a busy week.
All right, the first one from at DP20_FF. So standard, unfortunately. I don't really like standard leagues, as I don't think most people do, but there you go. Standard. Need one wide receiver out of DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, or Antonio Brown. Leaning AB at the moment. Go for it.
Yeah, I lean AB as well. In a standard league, you don't need as many targets. I'd shoot for the upside that AB holds in the big play explosiveness. I think Tom Brady and Tampa Bay are going to light up Atlanta. So I'm going to start Antonio Brown here and hope for that upside.
Yeah, I would definitely go Antonio Brown as well. Just because it's standard league, so touchdowns count for so much. Cortland Sutton looked like garbage last week. I'll play him because it's against Jacksonville, but he's way lower. I like DJ Moore. If it were PPR, it would be closer, but in standard, he's not really a touchdown scorer. So hopefully I'm getting the comments.
Yeah,
because I haven't seen any. I will see about that and make sure that this is working. Yeah, no, I haven't seen any. Okay. Well, if you want your start sit questions answered, put the comments in the chat.
Put them in the chat.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now I can see them. But the feed is full of them. Okay, this is a very bad sign. Why is the feed full of comments, but I can't see any of them?
Uh-oh.
That's an uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're blaming YouTube for this. Why can't I see any of the chats? Oh, Patrick's just trolling me.
Oh my,
Patrick. Fine. You made me excited for a second.
I was like, uh-oh, can't see him.
Fine. I just won't invite you on my show, Patrick. I can say that. I just want to invite you on here. I'm a little bit. Sometimes I can be a little bit of a revenge motivated person. No, Patrick's a good friend of mine. It's fine. All right, let's move on. So from Trip, I suspect this was asked after Josh Jacobs, because some of these questions I did a sit thread on Friday also, so some of those questions are from that.
Okay.
So from Trip, Kenyon Drake or Darrell Henderson? Go for it.
I'll go Henderson here. Again, I think the upside is much bigger with the Darrell Henderson play. I expect LA to score today. I expect them to win today. I expect it to be a positive game script for Henderson. We saw he was one of the lead backs there in LA. So I'm going to start Henderson here. The Drake floor, I guess, is going to be okay since he's going to get nice volume, but he doesn't have much upside against the Steelers' rush defense. So I'll go Darrell Henderson here.
Yeah, I would also go with Henderson. I was kind of scared that they said that Peyton Barber is going to take like some lead back work. I mean, that's got to be bullshit, right? But
well, I mean, I guess if lead back means he's going to get touches, like he's going to get touches. So I mean, I don't think he's going to get lead back. I mean, no, yeah, that's BS. I think he's going to get touches though, but he's not going to get 15 carries. I mean, if he does, that's crazy. But
yeah, but either way, I go Henderson. It's not that close. I have Henderson at 20 and Drake at 26. So decently far apart. All right. Finally, someone actually. Hi, Ed. We love you.
Not bad. How are you?
All right, from Ryan. Thanks for doing the show. Flex, PPR, Javonte, Marvin Jones, Tim Patrick, or Rondale? This is an easy question. This is Javonte. Easily. This is an easy question.
Yeah, this was Javonte for me too. I think it's only a matter of time before he has that game where he's going to break.
I mean, he out-carried Gordon last week, right? I mean, if Gordon doesn't break that 70-yard touchdown at the end of the game, I don't think we're talking about Gordon ahead of Javonte. I think we're talking about it the other way around.
Oh, you're right.
But the coaching staff, they saw the 70-yard touchdown. I mean, it's something that happened, and I think it could factor in. That's why I have Gordon ranked ahead this week. I have, what do I have? I have Gordon at 21 and Javonte at 24. So running back 21 and 24. So close. I'd like to start them both against Jacksonville, but these other options are such a maybe.
Yeah.
Marvin Jones, Rondale.
Yeah, I'm on Javonte here. I mean,
yeah, Rondale had like 28% of snaps or something. I just can't risk it. I need to see a little bit more than that. And Tim Patrick I actually like, but if you told me that Cortland Sutton had a big bounce back game and Tim Patrick had 2 catches, I totally believe you. So got to be Javonte.
Yeah, it's Javonte here.
Okay, Damian. Any concerns? Okay, so this isn't really start sit, but this is sort of a start sit. Any concerns with Sony Michel getting extra work?
Yeah, I think he gets more touches, but I don't think it's going to be necessarily enough that's going to cut into Henderson yet. Like, I could see it becoming more of a 55-45 split towards maybe a couple more weeks. But, again, Michel's new in this LA offense. He's still learning the ropes. I think it's still going to be a Henderson backfield, at least for this week. So I'm wheels up on Henderson this week.
Yeah, I mean, if I thought that Henderson was going to get 95% of the touches, I would have him ranked above 20. So if you look at it that way, then maybe I am saying that I think Sony Michel is going to get a few more touches this week. If I thought that Henderson was getting last week's workload, I would probably have him ranked to like 15 or 14 or 15. So
yep.
I guess so. If he doesn't, I'm going to definitely reconsider this backfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I expect him to.
Oh.
Rojo or J-Rob? Okay. No more Rojo. No, never again. Never again. Never. I have Rojo at 37.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll go J-Rob.
J-Rob actually, so J-Rob, while we saw Hyde get more carries, that made the news. J-Rob had more snaps, and they were getting J-Rob involved. The problem was that the script went away from runs almost immediately. Now, not that that's going to happen. That's going to happen again. But, I think that they're going to maybe try to get J-Rob involved in the passing game. I think it's better than Rojo. I mean, Rojo at this point, it's one fumble and then
done.
0. I mean, I can't accept that. Yeah. I'm never going to be able to start Rojo. If you can't start Rojo this week against Atlanta, you're never going to be able to start Rojo.
Yeah.
And then the second one, Fournette or Elijah Moore?
I'm just
Fournette.
Oh no, I'm just going to avoid that Tampa Bay backfield. I'll pass.
This has nothing to do with wanting to start Fournette. I think that Elijah Moore is not ready. I think Elijah Moore is still hurt. He had that quad injury in the preseason. He didn't look right. Week 1. I love Elijah Moore. I'm so in on Elijah Moore in Dynasty. I just think he's not healthy. And it's against the Patriots. And Jamison Crowder is back. I think Elijah Moore for this week is going to be the third target on the team. He's not ready. He's not 100%. And I think it's going to be a few weeks. But if I were in redraft, unless it's a really shallow league, I'd really try to hang on to Elijah Moore because I think you're going to be rewarded for it. I really do. I just think that it's a couple weeks away. And this matchup against the Patriots is just a no-go. So I can't start Elijah Moore. I mean, I have Elijah Moore at wide receiver. It's way down there. I have Elijah Moore at wide receiver 67. So essentially, complete no-go. Yeah. I have Fournette at running back 31. So not that I want to start him, but Elijah Moore is just a no-go. You might have a better option on your bench in a PPR. Like if you have another wide receiver that maybe you didn't think of to ask, you might have another wide receiver in PPR that would start over Fournette. But Elijah Moore is not it. Not this week. Are we worried about, from Ryan, are we worried about Mooney this week? Who do you have ranked around him? You worried?
I'm not. I think that he's going to be okay. It's just been such a murky situation in Chicago. Like, I don't know he was healthy last week and now he's having the same thing. So if I have to play him, I'm comfortable playing him, but like, he's not a guy that is a must start for me in any way. The Cincinnati Bengals secondary isn't the best, so I'd be okay starting Mooney this week. I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I mean, he had that back injury. I don't know. I don't want to start him with Dalton. I mean, I have Mooney at wide receiver 48. So,
yeah.
I right around him. I have Devontae Parker one spot above and Nelson Aguilar one spot behind. So that's not exciting.
Yeah.
You could start him. Great show, guys. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate that. All right. From Carlito's Way, Lamar or Jalen Hurts? Let's see.
Want to go Jalen Hurts.
I'm still going to go Lamar.
Yeah, I'm going Lamar, but I think Jalen Hurts is about to put the world on notice today.
Yeah, I'm not as excited with him against San Francisco as I was against Atlanta. So this week, I said this on Thursday's show, which you can all go back and watch at some point if you want, that there's really 10 quarterbacks I want to start this week, and everyone else really no interest.
Right.
Jalen Hurts is one of those 10, but I have him at 10. He's the one with the bad matchup. The ones ahead of him, Brady, Prescott, Herbert, and Rodgers, they all have like excellent matchups.
Right.
So I have Hurts at 10. San Francisco, yeah, they lost someone they lost some pieces in the secondary, but they still have a good defense overall. And I have confidence in their defensive coaching staff to do a little bit better than Atlanta did. Again, he can do worse. There's no worse. It can't get worse. So I do have faith in that. And then, Lamar's going to be coming from behind. The running game is a disaster. They're going to need to be able to run with him. And they're going to have to pass the ball. I mean, there's no choice.
Yeah, so I'd go Lamar here.
Yeah. I have Lamar at the Chiefs are a good defense, though. I have Lamar at 5. So I'm not that excited. Well, 5 is excited, I suppose.
Yeah, 5 is pretty exciting.
5 is pretty good. Okay. Justin says, always good to see Tyler putting out more takes. I appreciate that. I try. From Damien, how close is J-Rob versus Jamal Williams? Is it easily J-Rob still? Hyde shouldn't scare people, but Meyer seems to want him to be involved. Urban Meyer, I think he's saying.
This is Jamal Williams for me.
I still have James Robinson, but it is close. I don't know why this is the week for Jamal Williams.
I think just the receiving floor alone is going to give him a relatively same floor as J-Rob, and the upside is going to be higher. So
I'm worried that the receiving work is going to go even more to Swift than it did last time.
If that's the case, DeAndre Swift better be ranked in your top 10.
Well, I mean, the only I have DeAndre Swift at 13.
I think they're both in for a big week. I think they're going to make playing.
I have Jamal Williams at 33. You could start him.
I'd start him over J-Rob. I would.
I have some concerns that this is going to be a total stomping. Like Green Bay is going to get their act together
No, I don't have that concern. I have the concern that Green Bay isn't going to get their act together. That's my concern.
Well, if that's the case, then Jamal Williams is going to get work on the ground. See, that's what he needs to get. That's what he needs to get. There needs to be a script where there's enough ground touches to have him get some of those and not just receiving work.
Right, but that receiving work should just give him a similar floor to what J-Rob's going to offer.
Yeah, I suppose my rankings do look a little bit weird. Running back is top heavy this week. There are a lot of good plays. I mean, Mixon, Eckler, Jones all have great matchups, and then there's Henry, Elliott, Najee is playing Vegas and got 100% of touches last week. So
Chubb versus Houston.
Yeah, well, I didn't even mention him because he's at 4. He's above wherever he's looking. But similar to quarterback, there's really 13 running backs I love this week, including Gibson, who already played, and that didn't work out. But so then 12 others that I really love this week, and Swift is one of them. He just, I have him last of the bunch because I think everyone above him is more of a workhorse.
That's fair.
But yeah, they're very close. I mean, honestly, I don't see too much of a difference between Swift at 13 and Eckler at 6. They're really to me the big, Chubb and Mixon. I'm very excited for this week at 4 and 5, and then once you get Eckler at 6 and Swift at 13, if you had Swift at 6, really wouldn't fight you on it.
Right. He could be. I mean, he's in for a big week. I think.
Yeah, Jamal at 33 does look a little bit low, honestly. But I don't know. Maybe. All right. From MJ, Zach Wilson or Jimmy G today as second QB in Superflex? Well, Zach Wilson is a no-go. No.
It's Jimmy
No,
G.
not this week. No, not against the Patriots. I have Zach Wilson at 30.
Yeah, it's Jimmy G. For me, I mean, it's going to be a safer floor, similar upside. I mean, I'm not expecting
Zach Wilson.
It's Jimmy G. I don't know. I'm starting Jimmy G here. He's playing Philly. Their secondary isn't the greatest, so
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm okay starting Jimmy G here and hoping San Francisco can put up another 41-point game.
If Ayuk actually contributes.
Yeah, please.
Who knows? I'm surprised we haven't got any questions about Ayuk. I think that people aren't even considering him. I think that's why we're not getting questions.
I wouldn't be.
I mean, I probably wouldn't either. Carlitos says, thanks. You're welcome. Okay, from Justin. Can sit 2 and start 2. Higgins, Landry, Debo, and Jones. Okay, so a couple of things. 1, put the format. And 2, names like Jones, that could be a lot of people. I assume, given the other names, Marvin Jones.
That was my assumption.
So, okay, I mean, that Marvin Jones wouldn't be in consideration for me. The other 3 are the relevant ones because I have them all very close to each other.
I would go Higgins and Debo. Those would be my picks. I'd go Higgins and Debo. I would ride it out, and then I would sit Landry and Marvin Jones. Assuming full PPR.
Because PPR would only help Landry, and I rank PPR, and I have Debo and Higgins ahead anyway. I have Debo at 23, Higgins at 26, and Landry at 30 or 28.
Yeah, so yeah. I would go Higgins and Debo.
Higgins, Debo. I have already made the move, though, to rank Jamar Chase as the Bengals wide receiver 1. I have Chase at 22. Just saying it. It's
God, I hope Higgins has like a 2-touchdown day.
Honestly, I thought about ranking Chase at like 17 because I really believe. And
I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, he's
Chicago's. We saw Van Jefferson beat Chicago's defense deep. Van Jefferson.
Chicago didn't look good.
No, not good. Not good. So that perception that people have of Chicago being a good defense, that needs to change because they're not. They were not last week, and they need to get their act together. They could get their act together by making some changes. They can eliminate failures, Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, and they could replace them with me. I would do much better because I would put Justin Fields in the lineup immediately. If you put Justin Fields in the lineup immediately, I think that would help the team, and they might have only lost by 10 points instead of 20.
Start Justin Fields. That's my favorite thing. Start him.
All right, from Derek. Elijah Mitchell or J-Rob in PPR. Also, Swift will finish as a top 3 running back for the season. I have over 50% rostership, and J-Will finish top 24 as well. There's no way that Swift is going to finish top 3. Yeah. Not in that offense. That's just not possible.
And I don't think that happens with J-Will finishing top 24.
No. Those things are not possible.
No.
Swift, I think, is going to finish as a mid RB1 if he stays healthy. Right. But top 3 now. You need to score like 10, 15 touchdowns to do that, and that is not happening on the Lions. Elijah Mitchell or J-Rob in PPR?
I'll go Elijah Mitchell. I'll shoot for the moon.
And so will I. I mean, it's possible J-Rob comes out and shows everything. I actually have these guys back to back. I do not trust San Francisco.
No, I don't either.
At all.
I don't.
And also, remember that Philadelphia, maybe not last week, but Philadelphia is a pass funnel defense.
Yep.
They are. Last year, you couldn't run on Philadelphia at all, but you could throw all over them. And the 49ers do not throw to their running backs whatsoever. So this is not my favorite matchup for Elijah Mitchell. The only thing I like about it is they could get a positive game script, but I guess that's going to be common for San Francisco. They're a pretty good team.
Yep.
So I still go Elijah Mitchell, but not super excited about it.
No, not either.
If Mitchell comes out and is the workhorse this week, I'll get more excited, to be honest.
Yeah, I need to see it.
Okay. He needs to start Mooney, Elijah Moore, or Marshall. Woo. Wow, we talked about Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
That one is a no.
Mooney.
It's Mooney.
Yeah.
Mooney is actually proven. Marshall, I think, is going to be a longer wait.
Than Moore.
I think you can just.
I think you can cut Marshall.
In redraft, I think you can just cut Marshall.
Yeah.
I think I like Marshall really long term, but that's a dynasty thing. In redraft, you need. I mean, how many injuries do you think you need? Is one injury even enough? I mean, is Robbie Anderson going out? What does that make Marshall? You have now a low-end wide receiver 3. That's what you have.
And it's not even about Marshall or Robbie A or DJ Moore. It's about Sam Darnold. Like, I don't know if he's going to be able to even suffice all these wide receivers.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Because Sam Darnold isn't that great, even if Robbie goes away, you have a wide receiver, a low-end wide receiver 3 at best. I mean, that's what you're waiting for.
Right.
Christian McCaffrey is, people just continuously all offseason were like, the Panthers supported 3 wide receivers. But actually not really, because Christian McCaffrey came in and was just he was wide receiver 1 on the team, like I said, all along. And that means that everyone else gets scraps. Yep. And scraps are not supporting 3 players.
No.
3 players. The scraps might be enough to support 1 player.
Right.
So forget it with Marshall. I'm always going to rank Marshall as like a wide receiver 5 this year. You can start him if in a good matchup if you have to. Maybe he catches a touchdown, but it's definitely Mooney.
Yeah, it's Mooney here.
All right. Thanks. You're welcome. Okay. Julio. Oh, we were saying Julio Jones. Oh, I forgot about Julio Jones.
It's still Higgins and Debo for me.
Still Higgins and Debo. I have Julio actually in between Higgins and Landry at 27.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm done with Julio.
Yeah, I think I'm with you.
Done. I think
drafted.
Done with Julio.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. He'll need to show me multiple games of actually looking like Julio.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
I'm very concerned. All right. Figured we'd get this question a lot. Elijah Mitchell or Tyson Williams, half PPR. It's easily Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm going to go Mitchell. I just don't think that Tyson Williams is going to get enough.
I'm very concerned about Tyson Williams.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Very, very concerned.
I mean, they brought in like 5 back.
I don't buy it. From Derek, I'm considering Ayuk, but it's as like 4th flex. It's him, Ruggs, Ahmed, or Tony Jones.
It's actually, I would start Ruggs.
I'm not starting Ruggs against Pittsburgh. No, I'm good. I'm good. No Ruggs.
What are you getting with Ayuk?
I'd rather just take my chances. That this
take my
week,
chance on Ruggs.
No, not against Pittsburgh. I think Ruggs is getting you a 0 or close to a 0. I don't want to start Ruggs.
Well, yeah, him and Ayuk's floor are similar, but I think
Ruggs. I'd rather just start Tony Jones then. If I was Ruggs, I don't want to go anywhere near. I'm going to start Ayuk easily.
I'm starting Ruggs there. I'm pretty.
I think Ayuk gets more targets this week than Ruggs.
I don't.
It might be 3 versus 2.
I think Ruggs is going to get like 4 or 5.
I have Ruggs at I don't even want to know where.
And
Ruggs
your
at
fourth flex spot. Your fourth
65.
65.
65. Hey, that's right with Fantasy Pros ECR. I looked at it, and Fantasy Pros ECR has him, I believe, at 64. So it's not like my ranking is weird.
No, it's not. But it is your fourth flex, so I'll shoot for the upside with Ruggs.
I think the upside's with Ayuk, though. That's the thing. Like,
I guess, but I mean, he didn't even get a target last week.
Right, but what if last week was just a total fluke?
What if last week was a fluke for Ruggs?
No, but we know Ruggs is bad. Ruggs was bad last year. Ruggs was bad last year. He was terrible. God. We saw him all season, and what did he do? Nothing. Yeah. He was awful.
That's fair.
I'm sick of Ruggs. I mean, I think I saw enough from Ruggs to say that I'm just kind of done, to be honest.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. So start Ayuk, and if Ruggs pops an 80-yard touchdown on your bench, don't be upset.
Yeah. Well, never get upset. Never get upset with me. I mean, it's not. It's not my fault. You're the one who clicked the button. Don't get mad at me. If you get mad at me, that's the quickest way to not get any more of your questions answered. Don't get mad at me. All right. Trevor Lawrence from PJ. Trevor Lawrence or Mac Jones in the Superflex?
Lawrence?
I feel like I'm just saying Lawrence because I love Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm not happy with this decision. But
no, as in like, I feel like if Trevor Lawrence were named, I don't know, any other name, I would just say Mac Jones. But he's not. He's named Trevor Lawrence, and I think that's making me pick Trevor Lawrence. I have Trevor Lawrence at 19 and Mac Jones at 20. So
yeah, Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I don't know. I'd start Trevor.
I really do feel like Urban Meyer is just really killing us.
I think he's bad. Yes.
I'm so tired of Urban.
It's been 1 week.
Honestly, it's 1 week too many.
1 week. We got a long season, Tyler. We got a long season.
No, it's 1 week. Oh, well, I didn't need – my issues with Urban started before we played any games. Before we played any games, I had issues with Urban. I had issues because he, was not ready to coach in the NFL. And honestly, I think that Urban is a baby. And he, is going to throw a temper tantrum, which, by the way, he's done. We know that he's thrown temper tantrums.
Multiple.
And, when you throw a temper tantrum with grown adults, professional adults playing professional football, that doesn't work. You can't throw a temper tantrum. How are the Giants doing with Joe Judge and his temper tantrum and his laps and his push-ups? How are those going? How well is that going?
0-2.
No, but that's not even the point. It's not even the record. It's going much worse than that. They somehow almost won a game. I don't know how that they certainly didn't deserve that. Anyway.
No problem, Justin.
What are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence? I mean, we just gave them, what do you mean my thoughts on Trevor Lawrence?
He's droppable. He's droppable in 1 QB redraft leagues.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely droppable in 1 QB redraft.
Oh, I see him out there all the time on rosters.
Yeah, but he can go. I mean, there's nothing there. Otherwise, I mean, in Dynasty you're holding, right? I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, sell for Fields and get more with Justin Fields, obviously.
Yeah, I think that if you were going to do that, you had your chance, and it's not anymore.
You missed it. It's all right.
I'm very stubborn, though. I'm very stubborn with Trevor Lawrence. I probably will never. it's going to be very hard for me to ever back away from Trevor Lawrence because I really do think he's the best quarterback prospect ever. So
that's fair. I mean,
he's going to need to be really bad to back away from him. All of them over Ruggs. Yeah, PJ hates Ruggs. PJ hates a lot of players. But Ruggs is definitely one of them. Oh, Ed appreciates you.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate you as always.
I have a ton of Sermon and Mitchell from Derek. The season's going to be a guessing game nightmare, isn't it? Do you think one locks down the RB1 role or does Shanny keep shannying?
I think he keeps shannying.
Yeah.
What that means is that Jermichael Hasty is going to get carries and other bullshit. So I don't know. You're going to hold him in Dynasty. So, but I mean, sell Mitchell now. I mean, his price is like high. I've seen like 23 first for Mitchell, which is bonanzas to me. So if you could sell Mitchell, sell him. I don't think there's any point in holding multiple San Francisco running backs. No point.
Yeah. It's going to be a guessing game. I mean, watch. Jeff Wilson is going to come back in week 7. He will be the starter. That's what's going to happen.
I love Jeff Wilson.
So do I. I've always loved Jeff Wilson. But no one's locking down the RB1 role. I think that, honestly, their 2022 starter is not on this roster, personally.
I don't think they have a starter. I think they got 6
No,
guys.
they don't have a start. That's what I'm saying. I don't think the 2022 starter is on this roster. If you told me that the 2022 starter was a second-round pick next year, I wouldn't be surprised because clearly they don't believe that Sermon really worked out the way they wanted.
Right.
Mitchell is a 6th rounder. Wilson, Mostert, they're free agents. Hasty is nothing. So, they'll only have Sermon and Mitchell on cheap contracts. They could afford, and they use 3 running backs. They could afford to pick another one.
Yeah.
As their starter. So, I don't know. My answer to this question is no. Oh my God. I don't even. I'm so done with Urban.
Urban? We got 16 more weeks, Tyler.
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, actually, we do. We have 16 more weeks.
Urban doesn't?
Urban does not. Urban, I think, has 2. And then Urban's going to do the same thing he's done at every other job. Being like, this is too hard. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to quit. Literally, no, I'm serious. I actually think that Urban is going to quit because this is not working. He's failing at this job.
He's got 2 more weeks.
Wait. I'm really excited. I get to bash on someone.
Who are we bashing on?
Oh, my favorite. So Jamison Crowder, we mentioned him earlier. He will not play today. He will not play. So that makes Elijah Moore a little bit more interesting with Jamison Crowder not playing. Don't know if it would have changed my answers because I still think Elijah Moore is not healthy. But guess who is a healthy scratch today?
Don't tell me it's Zach Moss.
No.
Oh.
Well, I haven't seen that yet. Denzel Minimal is a healthy scratch. As we said, oh God, don't get me started. Denzel Minimal is a healthy scratch because last week they said he can't be the backup because he doesn't know how to play any of the receiver positions at a high level.
You can cut him from your dynasty team.
Oh yeah, no, you can cut him. You can cut him. It's like JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Yeah.
It's like JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
It's over.
He showed a little bit in year 1 on a few plays. Year 2 just comes out and is irrelevant. Are you holding Andy Isabella? Kind of the same thing. Are you still holding those guys in your dynasty roster? They're only in their 3rd year, and this is Denzel Mims' 2nd. Honestly, I think you can cut Denzel Mims from, in a deeper league. You can hang on to him, hope for a trade, but in a shallower format, you're fine cutting him. He's not inside my top 250 in Dynasty. So feel free to cut him. There's no issue with that. Okay, from Derek, Mac Jones or Matt Ryan?
Flex 6 point. I'd go Matt Ryan.
Can't.
Go Matt Ryan.
Can't go Matt
You're
Ryan.
not going Mac Jones.
Yes, I am.
Oh
I cannot go Matt Ryan. I have Matt Ryan at 25. Matt Ryan.
Oh.
Honestly, I think Matt Ryan is finished. I think Matt Ryan is finished. I think that this is Matt Ryan's last year as an NFL star. I do not care that they owe him $40 million next year. I don't care. They're not going to throw another year down the toilet just because they already paid him. He is done. He looked terrible in week 1. He honestly looked terrible last year when Julio didn't play. And you know what the funny thing is? Matt Ryan has never been a good quarterback without Julio Jones. Never. He's average at best in the games in his career. You know, look at 2008 to 2010 before Julio started playing. Was Matt Ryan a good quarterback? Not at all. And then Julio comes in. He's good, but in the games Julio misses, not good. So, and this is against Tampa Bay. This is against Tampa Bay. I think Matt Ryan is going to be a disaster. And I think that, honestly, I think this is going to be, we're coming to the end of Matt Ryan's career. They're going to look back on this draft, and I think you would agree with me. They're going to look back on this draft, look back that they could have picked Justin Fields at pick number 4. Oh. And they're really going to be very upset because they're going to have nothing. They have Matt Ryan on $40 million next year, who's completely washed. And what are they going to do? What are they going to do after that? Their whole team is completely gutted.
Yeah,
it's disgraceful.
I would have loved a Justin Fields to Calvin Ridley connection, but I think Tyler actually just convinced me live that I would start Mac Jones.
Never Matt Ryan. Never again. He'll need to really prove it to me, but I honestly think he's finished. As an NFL quarterback, I do. I think he's done. He's 36. I mean, not every quarterback plays till they're 40.
No, you're right.
He's 36. It's not like he's young.
And I have seen the splits without Julio, and they're not.
It's really bad. It's really bad. I mean, he's without Julio, he's like equivalent to. He's not even as good as Jared Goff. Like, it's worse than that. He's like equivalent to just mediocre. I mean, it's like a bottom third quarterback, and that's in his prime without Julio.
Right.
We're way past that. Okay, from Damon. Can only start one. Drake, Fournette, Tyson Williams, or Chark. Also add J-Rob. This is just very unappealing. I guess I'll go Drake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not appealing.
I hate that. I don't like that. I mean,
all those running backs are very close. Yeah. Chark is just against Denver. I don't think so.
No, and I don't trust that he's gonna be like good. Like
he had 12 targets and caught 3 of them.
Right. That's the thing. Like I mean,
clearly, I don't know whose fault that was, but whosever fault it was, those two are not in sync. Lawrence and Eric at all.
Not. So I would skip on Chark. I'd skip on Fournette. I'd skip on Tyson. It's between Drake and J-Rob, and I'd probably go Drake.
I guess Drake has more guaranteed volume.
Yeah, that's still.
I do not believe this ridiculous nonsense that Peyton Barber is going to get a bunch of carries. They can say that, but I don't buy it.
But knowing that
Drake's going to get all the passing game work anyway.
Yep. Well,
like he did before.
Peyton Barber's going to have 2 touchdowns today.
Also, they're going to be behind. They're playing the Steelers. It's a good script for Drake to get passing work.
Yeah, I'm in on Drake. Yeah, play Drake.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of. I mean, they have Waller, but I mean, Ruggs and Edwards are just not proven. Oh, Ryan. Mark Ingram gets another 18-plus carries. Where will he fall on your weekly rankings? I do not think he's going to get another 18-plus carries. This is going to be a highly negative game script against the Browns. So I do not expect that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to rank Mark Ingram. That's just not going to happen.
Rank him. I mean, this week
RB 40.
That's actually about right. Yeah, I have him at 42. 42. I have him at 42. So that's actually about right.
No, yeah, I don't want anything to do with Mark Ingram.
In a standard league, if it's not PPR, I see it in it, but I rank PPR, so he's not going to catch anything. I mean, they have a dedicated pass down stack. All right, let's see. No other craziness that I'm seeing on the inactives, but I'll refresh the page and see. But yeah, there's so far nothing completely crazy. Not like last week. Oh, okay. There is one relevant thing that I'm seeing that we didn't expect. Obviously, Odell Beckham out, but we knew that already. But I am seeing for the okay, there is something. So for the Colts, Paris Campbell will miss today's game with Paris Campbell's done, by the way. I don't know if you can gut him, but he's done. So he will miss today's game.
Tyler, do you realize I have a show just after this one with two of the biggest Paris Campbell fans?
Yes, and I've told them that they're wrong to their faces, and I'll tell it to them again. They're liking a guy who's played 8 games out of 30. Who was a second-round pick late in the second round, who was a crap prospect, who did nothing in the NFL at all. And last week saw 60-something% of snaps to Zach Pascal's. He's so great, right? I mean, Zach Pascal's so great.
Elite.
No, Zach Pascal's a jack. Paris Campbell is nothing. Naeem Hines is their slot receiver. They're that guy. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, they don't use him that way, but that's what he is. They don't have any use for Paris Campbell. So he's finished. And then I'm just looking.
Or was it a healthy scratch?
Okay, we knew that Josh Jacobs was going to be inactive. We knew that Will Fuller was going to be inactive. Ramondre Stevenson, healthy scratch. So he's in the doghouse. He is in the doghouse. So what that means is doesn't change anything for Damian Harris for me.
Nope.
He's a starter.
Yep.
I didn't expect Ramondre Stevenson. I didn't even rank Ramondre Stevenson. So Ramondre Stevenson is a healthy scratch. So in redraft, if you hadn't cut him already, you can cut him now. And in Dynasty, this is a significant lowering. The idea that Ramondre Stevenson is ever going to take over that backfield, I think, is over.
No, so I don't think it was ever a thing. Like personally, I don't. I didn't.
Well, I thought he was a thing when they traded Sony Michel. I mean, I thought that they traded Sony. It made sense. They traded Sony Michel because they had confidence in Ramondre Stevenson to play a role. Clearly, that confidence has evaporated. So yeah, that means that J.J. Taylor will get some work in the backfield for the Patriots. And I'm not saying pick J.J. Taylor up in redraft. In redraft, I think the only ones you're going to be able to trust are Harris and White. In Dynasty, though, if J.J. Taylor is on your Dynasty waiver wire, you need to pick him up immediately. He should not be on your Dynasty waiver wire with Ramondre Stevenson inactive. That's something very important. And then, as we mentioned, Crowder was inactive, and I'm not seeing Trey Sermon is active.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Trey Sermon and Ayuk are active, so we will see. We will see. The 49ers actually didn't name an inactive running back, so all running backs active.
Oh, yay. That's going to be tough.
For them, including, I think, Trenton Cannon as well to play special teams. Hasty as the 3, Mitchell as 1, and Sermon as 2. So there's a little bit of a mess there, and I think that's it for the relevant inactive. So a little interesting on the Dolphins. Hunter Long is inactive. Not that I wanted to. What?
Was he a healthy scratch?
Healthy scratch. He wasn't on the injury report.
He's pretty much done in Dynasty. He was never.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's just that Hunter Long almost had equivalent snaps to Mike Gesicki last week, and they still have no Will Fuller. So perhaps I don't want to start Mike Gesicki, but if you're being forced to start Mike Gesicki, this is a small upgrade because Hunter Long took equivalent snaps. So if they play a majority 12 and Gesicki is playing 60 to 65% instead of 30, then he's a little bit more viable.
No, 100%. I just don't think
it's definitely something that changes the ranking on Gesicki.
I just don't think Hunter Long's that good. So in Dynasty, I'm not.
Well, I don't care. He was taking snaps.
Well, snaps
I don't care about Hunter Long. This is about Gesicki.
No, I understand for Gesicki it's good, but I'm saying in Dynasty for Hunter Long, it's just.
He's a rookie tight end. I'm not dropping him in Dynasty, but I was never really that interested anyway. I don't know, but he's whatever. But that's it for the inactives. The big one was Ramondre Stevenson. From Derek, J. Will, Jamal Williams, Darnell Mooney, Pittman, Jonnu, or Rondale.
J. Will.
Yeah.
Assuming Javante.
No, even if it's Jamal.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking a little bit of Pittman. I like me some Pittman. All right.
Pittman's not healthy either. Pittman was added to the. I suspect that if they could have made Pittman inactive too, they would have. But I think that their offense needs Pittman more. So they're willing to put Pittman out there if he's not 100%, because if they made Pittman inactive, they just have nothing to go to.
Yeah.
So Pittman is not 100%. He was a late add to the injury report with a, what was it? Paris Campbell was like a core like sports hernia issue. Pittman was, maybe it was some sort of lower body thing. I forget. But I am not risking Pittman.
No, I'd start Jay Will, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Jay Will of these options. Damien says Jared Goff over Matt Ryan.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going that far.
I'm going that far. Again, okay, so if we're going to wipe out all these preconceived notions, like you said earlier about the Bears defense, let's wipe them out for the Packers. I mean, they got obliterated in week one.
No, but my preconceived notions about how bad Jared Goff are have not been wiped. He was really bad in week one. And yes, they scored 33 points, but he was really bad. And if the Packers offense is not as good as we thought, then also he didn't even have Tyrell Williams. Tyrell Williams missed the game with concussion. So
I'll play Goff.
Ryan. I don't want to play either of these guys.
I agree with that.
Good morning. Good morning. Cortland Sutton, Javonte Williams, Marquez Callaway need to half PPR.
Javonte and Callaway.
I play Javonte and Sutton.
Oh, I play Callaway over Sutton. I think
play Sutton.
Hurt. I think Sutton's still hurt. I think Sutton's still dealing with something.
So do I. But I think that
Bridgewater's not even like lights out.
Yeah, but it's Jacksonville. I think that if it weren't Jacksonville, I would consider it. I mean, Callaway. My issue with Callaway is he's never done anything. Ever. We're just assuming that Callaway is going to be this guy. He's never done anything, really, ever. It's just hype, really, at this point, right? I mean, that's the thing. So I have them close. I have Sutton at 32 and Callaway at 38. It's not like I have them miles apart, but I would lean Sutton because of the favorable matchup. Against Jacksonville, I just think that he doesn't need that many plays.
That's fair.
And
That's
also,
fair.
I definitely think Sutton's more likely to score a touchdown than Callaway.
That's fair. Yeah, I lean Callaway just for the upside. I don't see upside in Sutton this week. I don't. I
see more upside in Sutton because Sutton could catch one or two long balls, and it's only half PPR, not full. That makes me even more likely to go Sutton. Not that Callaway had a bunch of catches last week either.
Yeah, I don't like Sutton. I think that I'm gonna wait and see with Sutton. I guess it is a wait and see with Callaway as well. So I trust Winston.
Yeah, if it's gonna be too wait and see, I'll take the guy who, I think is better.
That's fair. And I mean, Sutton is better. I mean, there's
Sutton
no argument.
We all know that.
There's no argument to that. So,
okay, better bench stash and keeper, Gabe Davis or KJ Hamler. It depends on how many keepers. I mean, if you're looking at this season, it's KJ Hamler for now. I mean, for now, it's KJ Hamler.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis is also struggling with an injury.
Yeah, I would do Hamler.
Injury report all week. I'm not playing Gabe Davis this week, no matter what. Essentially. So for this week, it's Hamler. I think for the near time, it's Hamler.
Yeah, it's Hamler.
Patrick ran ahead of Hamler. I mean, if in week one before Judy got hurt. So if Judy doesn't get hurt, KJ Hamler would have been one of my biggest dynasty fallers for the week because he didn't get any playing time. He's the one who got playing time most after Judy went out. Yeah. So
I'm intrigued with Hamler. I am. And I like Gabe Davis.
I just think Tim Patrick is a far better player than KJ Hamler. And I think we're going to see it this week.
That's true. Tim Patrick's very underrated.
Yeah. So, but it depends on how many keepers. If it's a lot of keepers, I'd go more toward who I think is the better player, which is Gabe Davis. If it's not that many keepers, then it's more like redraft, and I'll go with KJ Hamler. I am distraught. What is he distraught about? That I hate Paris Campbell? Paris Campbell sucks.
I was about to say, it's about Paris Campbell, 100%.
Be distraught. You were wrong. It happens. I'm wrong all the time. I'm wrong all the time. I mean, I'm the person who had a whole off-season storyline of feeding DeAndre Swift because X, Y, and Z, and that wasn't right. So we're all going to be wrong sometimes, right? I mean, you thought that the Bengals wouldn't take Jamar Chase, and you were wrong about that. So we're right. So we're all going to be wrong about things. So whatever. Be distraught. Get over it. I love you, Ryan, but
we love you, buddy.
This is the wrong. Don't die on the Paris Campbell hill. That hill was never alive, so there's nothing to die on.
It's a tiny hill.
Well, it was never alive, so it can't be dead. MJ says JJ Taylor time. Yeah, I do think so. Like I said,
if your dynasty waivers are open. If they are, I don't think in redraft it's necessary.
No.
Maybe in SFB, probably not even, because it's only half PPR and Taylor's receiving it. If your dynasty waivers are open and JJ Taylor is out there, he absolutely must be added. 0 questions. 0. If you're going to have a running back who's going to get any work, and he will get work, he must be added. There's no question.
Agreed.
But obviously you're not starting JJ Taylor. Coop, looking sharp. Thank you.
Thanks, Coop.
Okay. Steve, you sure Ben over Teddy? I mean, I'm not sure. I have them at 17 and 18. Here's the thing with Ben. He didn't look so great last week. This week is kind of, but unlike Matt Ryan, who was playing the Eagles, Ben was playing Buffalo. He still won. They still won the game, and he had something. So I actually think Ben has more left in the tank than Ryan. But if Ben comes out against Vegas and looks bad, we will have a problem. We will have a problem with him moving forward. I'll never trust him again this year as a streamer if he doesn't look good this week. And so I still only have him at 17 because I'm a little bit concerned. Teddy I have at 18 because he's playing Jacksonville. He's going to have every opportunity to succeed. But he has no upside. He's not going to really run that much. And he's not going to throw a bunch of touchdowns because they're going to focus on the running game. So I'd go with Ben, but they are close.
Yeah, I'd go Big Ben here too.
I think if Teddy had Judy, I would probably go with Teddy. But I think not having Judy is a big loss.
Yep.
Judy was their number one receiving weapon, and it was not close.
Nope.
Judy's their guy. Judy's the one.
Yep.
I think they wanted Judy to be the one the whole time.
Yep.
And then, they wanted Sutton to be the 2 and Fant the 3. That's what they wanted. I don't know if Sutton is healthy enough for that, but that's what they wanted.
Yes,
and
100%.
When a team loses their number one receiving weapon, yes, they have like the best wide receiver 4 in the league. Whether you think it's Patrick or Hamler, whoever of those was their 4 is like the best wide receiver 4 in the league outside of Buffalo. Or maybe the Cardinals. But so they can replace it. But if you're losing Judy, it's going to take the ceiling down. So that's why I only have Teddy at 18. If he had had Judy, I might have had him, as a high-end quarterback too, with the excellent matchup. But without Judy, I really think they're just going to run some more. I mean, we saw I have both Gordon and Javonte inside my top 24 at running back. So it's hard to have that and also have Bridgewater, too high. It's not like he's big on throw. I mean, he does throw to the running back, but it's not like a specialty of either Gordon. I mean, Javonte, sure, but again, that's not Javonte's specialty.
Yeah, I'll go Big Ben here. Again, he's got more weapons. So playing Jacksonville's awful, but
I mean, if they can't deliver this week, it's really, but this is, with Big Ben, it's whatever. He's 39. It is what it is. If Najee Harris does not deliver this week, I am very worried. Because if he can't deliver on 100% of snaps against Vegas, there's a big problem. There's a big problem because why didn't he deliver? Why didn't he produce fantasy points? I'm not going to take excuses after this week. I don't deal with excuses. There are a lot of excuses. There are excuses made for Paris Campbell all the time. There are excuses made for Henry Ruggs all the time. The offense is bad. They can't stay on the field. If only they were coached correctly. Too many excuses. At the end of the day, good players produce and bad players don't. So if you're not going to produce, then that's fine. You can not produce on someone else's fantasy lineup, but not mine. It's going to be hard to ever bench Najee Harris, but I really thought he was going to be an instant star. I still think so, but this week will shake a lot of confidence in that if he can't succeed.
Yep.
He's someone I'm watching. He was one of the players in my I do a Sunday 6-pack article for DLF. I'll put the link in the chat. But essentially what it is I look at a bunch of storylines for this week. For the week, I'm going to do this every week. And then on Monday, I go back and review how they went. So it's like a 2-part article. But there's the one from today. Essentially, I looked at the storylines. One of them was Najee Harris, I believe, unless I'm crazy. It's possible that I forgot what I wrote about. No, I did actually write about Najee Harris. So that's something that I've looked up. Higbee or Jamal Williams? Half 1.5 tight end premium.
That's true.
It's Higbee for me. 1.5 premium is enough to go to Higbee.
I don't think it is.
I mean, I have Higbee tight end 10.
I'm not in on Higbee. I'm not. I need to see.
I didn't say I was in on Higbee.
I'll go Jamal.
But he had 100% of snaps last week. 100%. It's pretty good.
That is good.
1.5 is a lot. It's not a lot, but it's enough. It's enough that there's a big difference between, because what will you project Higbee for? 4 catches.
Yeah, 9.
That being 6 points instead of 4 is enough to kind of, and who's more likely to score a touchdown, Higbee or Jamal Williams? Backup running back or Higbee on the Rams offense? I'm not sure that when we look at the year, the touchdown totals between the two are going to be really any different. So when you put in the premium, I think I would lean slightly toward Higbee. If it were more than 1.5, it would be easily Higbee. With 1.5, I think it's close.
Yeah, 1.5, it's a question. I would still go Jamal.
If it were 1.75 or 2, it would easily be Higbee.
Yeah, but again, I would rather have Jamal. I think the floor is there. Again, we've seen weeks from Higbee where he goes ghost, right? We know this is the thing. So I'm not going to buy into the notion that Higbee's now a lead target or a lead guy in this offense. I'll take Jamal with the floor. I know he's going to catch footballs and he's going to run the football. I'm with Jamal here. The 1.5 is enticing. It is, but unless Higbee makes 6 or 7 catches, 4 to 6 isn't.
He could, though. He easily could.
I don't see it.
We'll see. Cole Beasley or Kyle Pitts for flex spot half PPR. I'm leaning Pitts, even though he burned me last week and I lost by half a point.
I'd go Beasley.
Half PPR? With Pitts.
I'd go Beasley. I think the volume is there, even in PPR or half PPR. If he gets that 6, 7 catches, he's going to put up 9 points. Then you're looking for a touchdown. You're looking for touchdowns for both these teams. I
just feel like Pitts is a wide receiver. So,
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, but if I'm looking at wide receivers, I'm thinking, okay, bad matchup. Where am I ranking Atlanta's wide receiver 2? That's probably somewhere as a high-end wide receiver 4. So that's ahead of Beasley. So Pitts.
I'd go Beasley. I think the offense is...
For PPR, I'd be more likely to go Beasley. Beasley's not a big touchdown scorer.
Yeah, but I mean...
Pitts is more likely to score.
Probably. You think... Oh, no, I think Beasley's still more likely to score.
Not sure about that.
What have we seen from Pitts that makes him some red zone?
Okay, Pitts actually looked very good last week.
He did, but Matt Ryan didn't. He's going against Tampa. That was the argument earlier.
I get it. But, I have to rank him somewhere.
I need to see it from Pitts. All
right.
I'll go Beasley.
Also, I will put my Patreon in the chat. If you want to see the rankings where these come from, that's where you find it. There's the link. Somehow I got patreon.com/fantasy advice. I don't know how that was available. I have no idea how that was available, but it is. Okay. Revenge game for Jamal. Nobody cares about revenge games. They're not real. And then the last thing from Damon, we'll make this our last one. Nervous about Julio for the rest of the season? Yes. Very, very nervous. We covered this at the beginning of the show. I'm very, very nervous.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Very nervous.
Me and my dad placed a bet in Vegas on the odds for Ryan Tannehill to win MVP, and
forget that. Forget that bet. All right, so tell the people where they can find you one last time, and then we'll close it up.
Yeah, you can find me over on Twitter at Matt2Frosty, as always. You can find me over on the League Winners. Right over there. I'm the lead Dynasty writer over there. You can find me in just a few minutes. I'll be live with the Fantasy Newsroom. That's a show we host every Sunday. As always, have a good football Sunday. Let's win some weeks this week, and I hope you guys have a good one.
And take care of Silver Mitchell. All right. Peace out.